Former Prime Minister Scott Morrison has made a timely call for action to tackle Islamist extremism and anti-Semitism in the wake of the Bondi terrorist attack. Speaking at an anti-Semitism conference in Israel, Morrison echoed the reality that I've pointed out here for more than 2 years, that the warning signs in Australia were there immediately after October the 7th, 2023.
Within 48 hours of October 7, pro-Palestinian protesters gathered at the Sydney Opera House chanting violent anti-Semitic slogans. Regular protests followed in Sydney and in Melbourne over the next 2 years, culminating in an estimated 100,000 people marching across our Sydney Harbour Bridge alongside those calling for globalised intifada, death to Israel Defence Forces, the elimination of the Jewish state from the river to the sea, and even the display of portraits of Iran's supreme leader. As Ayaan Hirsi Ali observed of similar protests in the UK, many participants were compassionate people seeking peace, but they chose to march side by side with those promoting hatred.
And making another point that we've made here often, Morrison said that as well as doing too little to quell this hatred, the Albanese government's actions only made it worse.
At the policy level, the Albanese Labor government ended 75 years of bipartisan support for Israel by unilaterally recognising Palestinian statehood, a move praised by Hamas itself. In this environment, is it surprising that radicalised Islamists bent on violence convinced themselves their moment had arrived and that another Australian icon, Bondi Beach, should be the scene for their atrocity?
Rather than merely criticise, the former PM outlined a policy plan to tackle Islamist extremism, saying we need to learn from how Muslim nations combat radicalisation themselves.
Islamic leaders have a pastoral duty to protect their communities from radicalisation. And I believe most take this responsibility very seriously. However, stronger institutional frameworks would assist them, but it would also expose those who do not share their commitment. And it is time that the Islamic institutions in Australia adopted nationally consistent self